Hello and welcome. In this video, I am going to be talking about Stephan Sterns' so-called love poem for Madeline Soto, the 13-year-old girl. She just turned 13. So it's hard to think of her as 13 because she had just turned 13. Okay? So really, she still had the mind of a 12-year-old. Let's keep that in mind. So anyway, there are a lot of true crime channels that are talking about this, analyzing it, and whatever. But I just wanted to um, um, offer this slightly different analytical perspective. If you don't know me and you don't know what I did before, I actually wrote screenplays, theater plays, and I went to film school. And I had two of the best film professors out there, T.N. Mohan, who has made a lot of movies, who's from India, but you might not know him that well because um, he wrote the movie and directed the movie Hanged on a Wooden or a Crooked Cross about Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And he was the cinematography, the script writing professor as well. And Dean Lemon, who did the documentary about Roger Corman, and he's also done other things as well. And he was the cinematography professor, and you learn a lot from them. So I had another channel in the past where I have analyzed and critiqued movies. I'm not talking about reaction to. Okay, I did not make reaction to it. I made analytical analysis and critique. So what I'm going to say is something very important that good writers know, good directors, good actors know. Nothing in writing. This includes novels. This includes music. This includes anything written. Okay? Nothing is ever straightforward. And another important thing to remember is nobody fully tells the truth. Remember that. Even the hero in your favorite movie does not always tell the truth. And the bad guy does not always lie. Remember those two things, okay? So when I look at this from my perspective, if you haven't seen my channel before, it's no longer on, because I've had a lot of medical issues from that time that's preventing me from being able to do that. But I'm going to look at this letter in that same analytical manner, and you can be free to disagree with me, whatever. I'm merely offering you a perspective from what it is that I know. Okay? Any written article, whether it's a novel, science fiction, whatever, fantasy, romance, anything written, right? And screenplays, theater plays, they're all written solely from the worldview and imagination of the person who wrote it. So what you will see in a movie is something that the writer inserted into that is a small part of himself or herself. Okay? It comes from their worldview. And for those of you who don't know what a worldview is the sum total of what you believe from all of your experiences and observations of the world. You combine everything that you have learned, you have seen, you have known. And this is how you view how the world works. That's why worldview. Okay? There's some young people who have told me they don't have worldviews. I'm sorry, you don't know what the meaning of it is. Well, now, people will say, well, you don't have a degree in psychology. I'm going to tell you something. Anybody who writes anything that is successful, they are psychologists. They are writing from their psyche about a character that they have to completely now, they have to round out that character so completely that that character can be believable as a real person. Okay? And you have to understand the psychological elements in making any movie, any book, any song. You have to understand psychology. Sociology? Absolutely yes. You have to know what's going on in that person's world, in that character's world. You have to create a world that fits, that the character would fit into, so the whole milieu of that storyline is complete. That you can believe that this is a real person in a real place. You have to understand sociology. You have to understand psychology. All these things you have to, either you have to understand history. The history of the character, the history of the location. If you're going to make that person real, or make people believe that person is real, you have to give them a place in time that is believable. So, doing that, I am going to analyze this letter from that perspective. We can disagree if you wish. You may have other ideas. Okay, I have no problem if you disagree with me, so what? Okay, I'm only doing this from this perspective. I mean, you have other Shannon, guilty of crime. Joe Stockton, she approaches these also, these stories from her perspective of how the world works. Plunder, she is, does the same thing. Um, Grizzly, True Crime, Giselle, Gavin Fish. Strategic Eyes approaches it just like Doodoo Ron or the others that were police officers. We're dealing with crime. Okay, so when you're dealing with crime, you're dealing with real people who did real things in real places in real time. Now, even they will say that they have crime theories. Why? Because they have to take every single bit of the information that they have available, and they have to construct a scenario of what happened around that known evidence, okay? So, um, so don't ever say that this one is wrong or that one is wrong, because they're approaching this from their natural viewpoint. They're approaching this from their worldviews, which is natural to them. That doesn't make them wrong. Understand? You cannot say that if somebody is discussing this facet of a crime, and we have to know motive. How do you learn motive? By constructing the evidence. That's right. You take what is known, and then you have to say, well, is it common sense? Is it simple? And nothing is straightforward. Nothing. Not even this letter. And I'm going to show you why. He's not only guilty, but he's justifying himself in this area for doing. So let's start at the beginning. Your hair was like honey with eyes storming blue. As a writer, storming is an adjective. It describes something. An adjective describes something. What does stormy mean in the context of writing anything? What is it? Well, when you think of storm, what are you thinking? Wildness, chaos. You know, passion. So he is telling her that she has hair like honey, with eyes that are wild, uncontrollable passion. He is believing in his mind that Maddie was his wife. And I'll get into this, why I say that, okay? He believed in his mind that Maddie was consenting in this relationship. He calls it he believes it's a relationship. He believes it's a loving relationship. He believes that he has every right to grieve over this child that he murdered. He's the one who killed her. So you have to say, why is he saying these things if he's the one who killed her? Okay? So when he said that, the first two lines told the whole story. Nothing is straightforward. Nothing. Why would he say she had eyes stormy blue? Because it relates to sex. So he has built up in his mind an imaginary relationship. And he's going to justify this in the letter. Okay? He said, gone far too soon, I will always miss you. You, you're the one who killed her. That's why she's gone too soon. I'm saying that. You killed her. And now you're lamenting over the fact that she's gone too soon. Kind of reminds me of a few songs here. Sweet Child of Mine. He opens it like Sweet Child of Mine. And now he says, gone far too soon. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine. Gone too soon. Why is he lamenting and grieving over that when he's the one who did it? Because he believes himself justified. That's right. And Jen standing over him, comforting him, shows that Jen absolutely accepted this as a sexual relationship, consensual. Jen approved of it. Don't tell me she didn't. Jen approved of it. If Jen was the mother, right? Jen's the mother. Why is she not sitting there grieving and him comforting her? No, it's not that way. She was standing over him, comforting him. Why? Because he just lost his wife. That's why. Maddie's her child. Maddie's her daughter. Maddie's her responsibility. There was nobody closer related to Maddie than her. She was the closest kin. Maddie was Jen's closest kin. So why was Jen comforting Stephan? Because she had fully acknowledged, she had fully accepted, and she had fully agreed to that fake romantic relationship. Yes. They got it backwards. See, Jen is incredibly stupid. She thinks that people don't know. Jen Soto, I'm telling you now, your actions prove that you are involved in this. Don't cry, don't hide, don't run away, and don't think you will never face justice. Because the sad truth is, Jen, when that night, you were in the bed, they were. You told them to get out of the bed to go sleep somewhere else so you could get a good night. Well, I hate to ask you this, Jennifer Soto. If it was innocent, then what were they doing that was making such a ruckus that you had to put them out of the bed? If all you were doing was sleeping, if all that was going on was just sleep, you put them out of the bed. Why? Why? Because obviously something was happening that you didn't want to be disturbed by. What was that? Was it June? Could it be that he was raping your daughter and you didn't want to get angry with him and tell him to stop? Because you said, oh, well, she's yours. Whatever you do with yours is okay. I said, ain't it, Jen? Be honest. That's exactly what it is. Gone far too soon. I will always miss him. Why is he eulogizing him? He's saying this as a man at his wife's funeral. Why are you grieving, Stephan? You're the one who killed her. You're the one who took her too soon. So what are you lamenting? Why are you crying about this? I'll agree she's gone far too soon, but she would not be gone far too soon if you had not put hands around her throat and choked her. She would still be here. It was a jealous rage. Why? Well, we'll keep reading. Your smile was a Trojan. Your laughter filled the room. This world is not the same. I will always miss you. Your smile is a Trojan. Was. Was. We're talking about her in the past tense, as in something previously. Your smile was. Your laughter filled. Now think about this. Hair like honey. Honey is sweet. Remember that. Honey is sweet. Stormy is wild passion. In book writing, in movie making, that's what it means. Her smile was a Trojan. What this means, right? Before you went all nuts and went crazy and decided to kill her out of your jealous fit of anger, you're justifying why you did it. Because she used to. Her smile used to be Trojan. Her laughter filled the room. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. In his house, this ain't a home. Right? This world. Right? Listening. He said, this what world is this, Stephan? We don't live in your world. So this world that you were talking about, this, let me say that, this. You don't say the world. This imaginary place in my mind that I intended and I invented and I made up in my imagination. This world. You used to be happy and smiling in this world. Your eyes were stormy in this world. Not that one. This one. I'm telling you, words matter. Words matter. You have to know how to move between lines. Because nothing is ever straightforward and nobody ever fully tells the truth. Nobody. I will always miss you. He'll always miss her in that world of his memory of what he found in sexually desirable. He didn't say violent, he said this one. Yes. He'll always miss her. What will he always miss? He'll always miss the little child that he forcibly raped, thinking in his mind that it was justifiable by claiming he was in love with him. Is this a love poem? It's a hate poem. It's a hate crime. Because she wouldn't be dead. He's thinking in his head. She wouldn't be dead if she hadn't done much good. Yes, it's a convention. Because think about it. If he loved her, would he be talking this way? Would he have killed her if he loved her? It's a hatred. This is his expression of hatred and anger about something that she did that he did not like. You hear it in TV shows, you hear it in movies, you hear it in music all the time. All the time. You're dead because of what you did. You did this to me, so I'm justified in doing it to you. You hear it everywhere. It's everywhere. Read between the lines, people, because nothing is straightforward. Nothing. Not even this. Said, I loved you so much, I would have died for you. I loved you so much, I would have died for you. He's angry here. He is angry. He is not saying, oh, I love you so much. No. You have to learn how to use inflection. Every good actor, every good director knows that the way that you say something makes a whole difference in whatever it is that they're telling. Inflection. Inflection. He says, I would have died for you. Now, when he says, right, he said, I love you so much. We're going to go through this, putting the inflection on certain words so that you can see which one would fit the most appropriate with the feelings that he was expressing in this confession. This is definitely a confession, but he's blaming it on matter. He said, I loved you so much. 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 Which do you think is the one who's saying? He's saying, I loved you so much. I would have died for you. But you didn't die for her, did he? He took her life. He currently did not love her at the time that he killed her. So he's talking about a previous thing. He's talking about something that happened before that. Look at that again. He believes she betrayed him. That's what he is. He believes that she, in some way, betrayed him. As in, he thought she was committing adultery because in his warped mind, in his perverse mind, she should never like somebody else except him. Because he would have died for her. Also told me she's something. And he said, well, how do you know what I said? From what he's young. With no end to my tears, I will always love you. You were always on my mind. I will announce him. No matter what he did, no matter what it was he did to the woman, he could leave her, he could do whatever he wanted. But she was always on his time. You were always on my mind. That's what he's saying now. My tears would never. I highly doubt that he's laying there in that jail cell. No. His tears are from his perverse idea that she was being unfaithful to him. That's the tears that he's talking about. Not losing her. He's not talking about losing her. No. As I held you in my arms, my heart died with you. He choked her to death. He didn't exactly have her in his arms. He choked her to death. It's a very violent act. Very violent and ugly. He said, as I held you in my arms. Before my heart. Listen, words matter. My heart died with you. Wait a minute, he just said in the previous one, I would have died for you. My heart died with you. Now think about that. He said, I would have died for you. My heart died with you. In other words, he fell out of love with her because she was treating him according to him, his mind. And she said that she liked a little boy at school, a normal 12-year-old girl, just turned 30, had a crush on a little boy. That was enough to set him off to believe that she was committing adultery, because in his world, that was his full imagination. They were married. Do you understand now what the motive was? Can you comprehend? She never was in love with him. And I wish people would stop acting like that is possible. She was being sexually abused and assaulted by this man. Was she groomed by him? No. And you're like, oh, but they texted back and forth all the time. Stephan is like any other abuser. He has to keep constant tabs on who she's talking to and she's at. Why? If she had such this loving relationship with him, why would she be still crying about it? Why would she be laying her head on him? Why would she be so sad? Because all he does is sit around the house and stuff. She's glad that he's gone. Why would she say she wants to go out and run away and live in the woods? If she were involved in this, first of all, she can't consent because she's still a child in her mind. She's still physically a child. She wants to run away and go live in the woods. She wants to get away from him. And she wants to get away from her mother who put her in that position. Jen put her there. So when he says, as I held her in my arms, turning out to sound like a really bad country song. Really bad country song. My heart died with you. I would have died for thee. My heart died with you. If it was down four, my heart died there. I would have died. I died. I would have died. I died. Did he say in that second and or in that last one? He's talking about this imaginary, perverse love that he had. She did not like him. Rest in peace, sweetheart. I want you to see that one. In the text, in the text, with Jen at 11:38 p.m., Jen texted Stephan saying, make sure she goes to sleep right away. If nothing was going on, Jen should have already been asleep in the bed. He put her out. He put her in him. You put her and him out. Something was going on in the bed that you just thought you needed to not hear. Isn't that right, Jen? What was going on in the bed? He says back to Jen, she's feathering her nest, settling in. She's feathering her nest, settling in. She's feathering her nest. Have you ever heard going to sleep put in that manner? Jen says, make sure she goes to sleep right away. She's feathering her nest. Don't make sense for someone who was just asleep before. Like Jen, if nothing was going on in bed, she would have been sleeping right there. She put her out with them. She's gathering her news. After that text, Maddie was dead just a few hours later. Now you gotta think about this. In that text message, he said, "Good night, Stephan." Let me say again, in that text, he said, "Good night, sweetheart," to Jen. And now in this letter, he's saying, "Rest in peace, sweetheart." Why would he use the same word for both? Now, I want you to remember what the text said. Make sure she goes sleep right away. And then he says, rest and peace. He wasn't saying that in a genuine way. He was saying, look, darling, you cheated on me, so I had to kill you. So go ahead, baby, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Because it's an angry letter. It's anger. It's anger. This is a hate. It's not a love poem. And you're reading it topically. You begin to think, wait a minute, this man has some kind of feelings for her. And apparently she must have had the same feelings for him. No. No. And that's the letter. Did you think it was going to be straightforward? Did you think reading that he's saying what he actually means? He's saying what he means. But you didn't take it in that tone. Analyze everyone. Because this story here came out of his own imaginary well-being. In his world. He said this world, not his. He didn't the world. He said this world. I hope that you understand that. And when you are writing a screenplay, you're writing a novel, whatever, right? Words matter. Adjectives matter. Stormy, in the context of this, means wild, passionate sex. That's what stormy means. So, just think of other movies that are kind of in that vein. Okay, you'll come to see that when you begin to analyze what you're seeing on the screen. It's like every student that's ever gone to film school said, once you learn how to analyze a movie, you'll never watch movies the same again, because you will be analyzing them. What was his motive? Jealous rage. Jealous rage. What was Jen's motive? Get her out of the room. That was it. That was it. Jen was like, get her out of my way. Just take her. Just take her. Get her out of me. Get her away from me. So, if Jen Soto ever watches this, remember, Jen Soto, you're the mother. Why were you not being comforted? But you gave it away to Stephan. That means you acknowledged, you accepted, and you agreed. Just don't go playing this game anymore, Jen. Because one of these days, someone will see you in prison. Thank you for watching.